Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and with the raid dropping tomorrow, I wanted to do another Jeume PvP arena highlight video before I get a couple days into like PvE mode, because I've been having a ton of success with some mixed element teams for Jeume in arena, and I want to highlight one specifically using Aerith and like a water team plus Jeume. Really cool. So let me jump into arena. Let me jump into team building real quick and walk you through the thought process here, because I think when you're talking about Jeume and you're talking about team building right now, there's a couple things to consider with her. One of which being how good of a tank she is at layering different ways to prevent damage to her. And you can really lean into that with some of the units that you're bringing. What do I mean? Well, her TMR is one way, right? She comes with a TMR that gives you a defense and spirit buff. That's one layer of being able to prevent damage. If you go into her kit, she has things like a physical shield. That's another way of layering damage prevention if you're fighting anti-physical. Her her hate buff gives her protect and shell. It's another layer of preventing damage, and she's really versatile. She can be anti-physical, she can be anti-magic, she can be both at the same time. And so if you can find other units to pair her with that can further enhance her layering of damage reduction, I think that's the key to success with her, especially in a rainbow team where you don't get all those like stacking bonuses that you do in a mono element team. But I've been running over like mono light teams with the current team you see on the screen here, and let me kind of walk you through why. Okay, I just told you like the way Jeume can layer damage reduction. So when you're fighting against magic teams like what Mono Light usually is, how do you want to do this? You want to put some gear on her that gives her a bunch of spirit. You want to run an Esper like Titan right here that gives you a bunch of spirit in his board. And for her vision card, I'm actually running Typhoon, because I'm going to focus on like having magic units as the rest of her team, and Typhoon gives a generic magic buff. So whatever element they are, it can get a magic buff, and it gives accuracy. We're going to be fighting against Starlight Elenas. We're going to be fighting against friggin' Engelbert who can dodge stuff somehow. Accuracy, really nice, so I like this. And then for Jeume herself, she does get wind attack resist, so if they mix in a Halloween Little Leela, we're feeling good about that. So you can have Jeume in these comps basically run a card that helps the rest of your group. Alternatively, you could run something like Leonis Castle to just give her more damage reduction if you want to go for that. Okay, now Aerith. Let's talk about Aerith here, because I think Aerith is one of the like better teammates for Jeume in the game, and I don't think anybody's talking about it. So here's why. Within Aerith's main job, she has Protective Familiar. This is a magic damage barrier that she can cast on her teammates. So with Jeume, if you're going for an anti-magic Jeume does not have herself a magic barrier. Aerith can bring that to the fight. Or if you're going for a mixed damage type, mixed damage resistance Jeume, she can physical barrier herself, and then Aerith can follow up with Protective Familiar, and she'll have both types of barrier on her, to start the fight. So really strong. And then Aerith also brings re-raise. So that's a nice thing to put on your tank as well. I'm running Aerith in Rune Knight sub, so she won't just stay way back. That is a problem with Aerith. You need her to go forward, especially on a longer map like our current arena map. Then I'm also having Aerith run Horns, First Division. This is another generic, like rainbow accessible vision card that gives a slash attack resist to the whole group. Great, Starlight Ellen and that slash damage is really dangerous, so I love that card. Then I'm pairing these two with Mont, another water element unit who importantly for this video can make use of the large bonus vision card. You want to stack your bonuses in arena, so Mont can run a Vow to Meet again to give my water units agility up, missile attack resist up for Jaden out there, and then lightning attack resist up just in case. So we don't get one shot all the time. Then it gives, water units like her some nice bonuses here, but really I'm running this for the large bonus. It has good stats for Mont as well, and crucially for this comp, Mont brings her own shield. Anti-magic life wall gives Mont a magic damage shield, shell, and regen. So Mont doesn't need the buffing. Mont can take care of herself, and I really like running units in a group that can just take care of themselves. I'm not having her activate this TMR, but it does give give her some more spirit and agility, so that's nice. And that's my setup. This is a really strong anti-light magic meta team. Let's go into some fights and watch how it plays out. Okay, now I didn't have to look too far to find a Jaden, Yuna, Elena team. And in theory, we'll be able to just tank this up with Jeume. Aerith will give some nice heals, some nice buffs, and Aerith, on Ruin Knight sub especially, provides some really nice backup damage to the group, as well as her heals give defense or spirit. Her limit break gives a defense buff, that's not going to help us here, but her regular heal gives spirit when it goes off, so you really like to see that. Anyway, here's Protective Familiar. That's 1 layer of magic damage reduction on Jeume with the shield. Moore's going to do her own thing. There's Vacuum Veil, so Protect and Shell are online, and you can see how we're forming up. This is how you want this squad to form up. Jeume and Moore in front because they can take damage. Aerith kind of chilling in the back, doing her buffs, taking care of herself. Now, Starlight Elena is heading straight for Moore. We kind of warned about this, like sometimes this will happen on this map. Aerith channeling a spell. Moore is going to do her second buff on herself. Jeume gets her Swift Wind defense off, so she's fully layered. She's got Spirit, she's got the Barrier, she's got Shell, she's ready to go. Elena, not in range of the tank yet, hits Moore once, but like, look, Moore literally didn't care about that. There's Magic Blast onto Jeume, she takes a little bit of damage. She's going to catch the re-raise from Aerith. This is the setup. This is how you want this formation to go. Will it? What the? That was a vision card ability, I think, right there from Yuna. Yuna popping off with weird stuff. Stormwind Rend comes in from Jeume. Ray of the Ancients comes in from Aerith. Yuna is immobilized and full HP because Aeon Bond 2 for 2 on proccing. There is a chance you lose this fight even though you're ready. Because the thing about Starlight Elena Yuna teams that just sucks to deal with is the RNG factor on them is so strong. Banishka Blade onto Moore. Moore takes it and lives. She's going to look to return the damage. Here's the limit break from Aerith. I don't love how close Aerith ended up being to our tank here, but the tank's back to full HP. Aerith charging forward. There's unavoidable pain. We've procced Courage onto the Elena, but we've ended up in kind of a weird place. I think Elena is going to get rended, so this will be the re-raise. No, she didn't have it. Yuna did not give her the re-raise. That's fantastic. We were ready if she did, though. There's Holy Knight's Purge again. We are just taking a beating. However, we take the beating, but we keep on ticking. There's the Prayer from Aerith. We get a Spirit buff and some HP back. Jaden's turn. He's out of HP. Auto attack onto the tank. You're going to take that every time. Here's Moore and Aerith channeling spells. Moore rebuffing herself. Aerith's turn. Prayer again, and look at this HP. We're just tanking through this no problem. They're 2,000 damage out of the tank, whatever. Jaden shoots her, she's low, but we got a healer, and it's a beautiful thing to have a healer in your group. Speaking of a healer, there's Smile Practice from Yuna. I think at this point in this fight, Yuna has recovered something like 10,000 HP. It's actually probably more like 20,000 HP, but we're healing too, and our heal comes with a buff. Take that, Yuna. This fight, one thing I will say about this comp, I've used it a lot against these light comps, is oftentimes you run out of turns here. There's so much healing when you fight a healer team versus a healer team, especially when you bring a tank, and so they can't burst you. Now, Moore's doing her best right here. She pops Yuna. It's actually Jaden versus 3. We have 2 turns to kill Jaden. We're going to summon Titan. So we're going to try and win this fight with a summon. It's been a 2,000-year fight, honestly. But really damn cool animation from Titan right here. I usually skip these, not skipping it this time. 100% hit, 1,500, he's immobilized and dead. Did he have re-raise? A freaking course he did. Aerith, you have to one-turn him. She Drain Evokes! She huge brains it and kills him with the Drain Evoke, so we get the much more satisfying win of actually killing them instead of winning on turns. Okay, so that's the Aerith comp. That's really why I like running her. Another thing to shout out here, like I said before, she's really good if you're going against mixed damage teams because you turn Elena's barrier back on, so she has both barrier types. And she can run Sub-Mage Time Job for some cool Quicken shenanigans. Quicken on this map ends up putting Aerith in a stupid spot. I never really got it to work great, so I don't love it on this arena map, but on different arena maps, especially shorter ones, I think it's really nice. Okay, let's go look at another team and talk about some more team building. All right, now this time what I want to talk about here is using Jeume, but without relying on her TMR to buff up a lot of those important stats that you're going for here. And I'm going to show that in the context of an Earth plus Jeume team, which kind of doesn't make sense, right? It's like, wait, Earth team and Jeume, what are we doing here? But I want to talk about like a mixed damage type resistance Jeume. And I'm going to use her here, and I'm going to turn on this time. I'm going to turn on her shield, Wind Blessing, because I want her to use that. She's not going to be using a TMR buff in this fight, so she'll have enough time to cast both of her good self buffs. Fantastic. I want to turn those on. Then what I'm doing is I'm going to run Leonis Castle. I think this one will be useful for a lot of people because it's just like everybody has this vision card and probably has it maxed out. If you don't, you should. 15 defense and 15 spirit. This will make up for the fact that we're not getting the defense and spirit buff from our TMR, but instead it will stack with other buffs we can get from the group, notably Noctis. So in this group, I'm running Noctis to use the a point warp buff. This is a spirit buff on allies and gives him protect. Again, really leaning into spirit and protect. This is good for both magic and physical. I really like this buff in a Jeume group. Alternatively, if you don't have Noctis, you could run anybody with this TMR if you have it. Star Burial Pendant. It's a spirit buff. You also have Rain's TMR that is a spirit buff. Like, you have options here for some different spirit buffs. I'm going to take advantage of Noctis because that's who I have. Now this time, since I'm probably going to look to like fight a team with maybe a lightning unit in it, I'm going to run Golem on Jeume. Just give myself that like lightning resist, some more defense. I love that a lot. For her gear, I'm going to stick with, again, a piece of gear that I think is super good on her if you don't care about her damage very much. Ruin Blade, it doesn't nerf her damage a ton because it still has 202 attack, but 8 slash resist, that's dang good on a tank sword. So you can give that to her. I'm going to give her, in this group, I think I'm going to give her a Knight Armor +5, so there's where I'll pick up some more spirit in case I find like an Ibarra or something out there. And then for her TMR, I want something with some defense on it. So like Bells has 8 defense, that's pretty good. You also have options like King Mont's Cloak has 11. Let's do King Mont's Cloak. It's going to make her a little slower than I would like, at only 82 so far, but really solid. Like, look at these, 67 defense, 38 spirit. Boom, that's great walking into a fight. She's going to catch a spirit buff from Noctis. You love to see it. Now, one thing you could do as well is I want to mention a different TMR here, and I think I'm going to have Noctis run it. So let's see. I might need to switch out Zazan here. I want to shout out this TMR. Well, I'm going to switch out Zazan because he can't. Nobody in this group right now can wear it. So let's do Oberon. I know Oberon can wear this thing. This one right here. Master Spalder. If you have this, this is a defense TMR buff. So you can give Jeume a defense buff as well if you can get, somebody to cast this on her. I'm going to give that to Oberon and just have him do that. Then I'm going to just equip Oberon with some good stuff. Give him, oh, of course, I'm going to give him the one I can't say. So I'm not even going to try. You'll have to excuse me. But then I'll give the rest of my Earth units agility and unit attack resist. That seems good. And basically, when you're running Jeume in like a mixed element team, I think my biggest tip is have the other two be the same element, which is always nice. And then just have her carry whatever else you need. Like if you don't want to run Leonis Castle, have her carry, like a really good option would just be to have her carry Golem. Be like, look, we're going to go fight lightning teams. I'm going to give my Earth units 1 billion lightning resist and more HP. It gives her the HP as well. Like, this is phenomenal. But for the sake of this video, you know what? Forget it. For the sake of this video, let's run Golem. How often do you actually get to run this card in a group? But look at this HP. She's going to have a ton. This girl's going to be hard to kill. For Noctis, let's give Noctis Titan. Then let's give Noctis another Earth Vision card. Let's see, is there one with a bonus this week? Because like when I'm building these teams, I do like to run the bonuses. Do we have an Earth VC? We have the Moraga VC for a bonus. Or Leonis Castle. Maybe I should just switch to Leonis Castle. Maybe. Or we just run the Moraga Vision card. Let's go find that sucker. Where is it? Okay, I found it. There it is. Critical hit rate up for Earth units, as well as slash attack up for the group. I don't love this card on Noctis, honestly, but I am at least now getting some bonuses, so I'll roll with it. It'll be fine. And honestly, for Noctis, he likes that slash attack up. So does Jeume. It's generic, and we're kind of layering some decent generic buffs. Like with Golem giving HP, and then we're getting slash attack from Echoing Screams. Like, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to give Noctis his sword, the Engine Blade +5. You love to see it. Then let's give him like oh, I don't know. Let's give him Pod. Wait, actually, let's give him Mage's Habit. Get that slash attack resist going here. And then I'll give Noctis, I want him using his buffs, not necessarily a TMR, but I am going to give him bells just to make him nice and fast. And we'll see how his AI handles it. We might have to tweak the AI a little bit after that. Then for Oberon, we're going to give him a Earth Spear. We're getting a critical buff, so let's go with the critical damage type Earth Spear. And then I could give him Pod right here for some nice agility. Alternatively, I could give him like some, Man-Eater, defense pin. Let's go with the agility because I want him to be nice and fast so he can get in there and do his buff. He's sitting at 99. That's great. Noctis is at 96, so I need Jeume to be the slowest. Indeed, she is. Let's run this and see how it works after I make sure that yeah, you gotta turn those TMR buffs on. You gotta turn those TMR buffs on. Okay, let's go see if we can find a lightning team and just beat them down, or just a mixed damage team in general and beat them down. Okay, here we go. We found a lightning team. It's Fred, Cloud, Ibarra, and like, I know Ibarra's only 115. You guys, I know that she is, but you can literally only fight the people on your list. This was the team that looked best for my group, and a big part of winning Arena is picking the right team. I will do another fight after this, especially if we need to tweak the AI. So, and I'll try to find like a mixed element team. You just can't always find those. Okay, we're loading in. Apparently, we are loading in on dial-up. We'll click a bunch of times on the screen. Always helps. Guaranteed, you spam click, works every time. Okay, now here we go. Oberon's going to come in there, bravery and defense buff. Point Warp from Noctis, so Spirit, and we've replaced, essentially, Jeume's TMR buff that we like to run with 2 buffs from her teammates to get her defense and Spirit up, and we're layering those resists again. So I really like that. Now, Jeume right here is going to put Shell and Protect on, so she's further protected from both of those things. There's the defense up for Noctis as well, and the Spirit up for Oberon. So notice how our movement, even though 0-ish damage right there. Even though our 2 other units are faster than Jeume, she's still able to get out in front because our teammates are focused on buffing each other. There's the physical shield from Jeume, so that's great. Oberon also going to cast a shield on himself right here, and Noctis has used bells and then decides to go to target. Like, he heads left because he forgot to buy milk at the grocery store, so he's on his way to pick that up. There's Piercing Shot from Frederica. Jeume is eating all of their attacks so far and really just not caring about it a ton. There's Rend, she knocks their agility down. Oberon's trying to get into range. Noctis remembered there's a fight going on, so he's headed back to the fight. And really, besides the trolling from Noctis, I've sort of liked our formation here. Now, there's Barrage. Jeume is taking a beating. She's probably dead right here. Finally. She does finally die, but it bought the rest of the team enough time to get in there. Man, like, we might have been a little bit slow getting in. We might need to get Noctis in particular to be a little less brain dead next time if we can, although I don't know how we'll do that. Anyway, I still like our chances here. We're two Earth units versus 2 Lightning units, and thanks to Jeume's tankiness, Cloud has basically used up his AP. Fred is also out, so she's just shooting, and she popped bells and ran out, so that's great. Plunge will kill her. It's Cloud versus 2. Guys, we've seen Cloud do this before. Like, let's be real. There could be some reflex action here. There's not. We win. So, I think that was good, right? Like, if you want to fight some Lightning teams because you have a couple Earth units you want to use, but you still want to use Jeume, especially for the bonus, boom, there we go. Now, let's try to find a mixed damage team and see how we do there. And let's see if, I want to see if Noctis just had a random brain fart moment right there, or if his AI is actually that stupid on this map. So, okay, let's go find another fight. Okay, this is a thing. This is a thing. This is Zazan, Ibarra, Noctis. So, elemental advantage for our tank in this case. It's weird. This is a weird one. So it's 2 Earth units and a Lightning unit, which again is decent for us. If our Earth units can hit their Ibarra, I think she'll die in 1 shot. Now, here we go. We're going to lay our defenses, layer our spirits, get all our buffs online. Immortal Spirit from Zazan. That dude is always a pain to deal with. There's Spirit buff from Noctis. He's now going, instead of Target this time, he's going to Kmart. Apparently Kmart's off to the right. He's headed over there. I don't know, man. This dude. Anyway, there's Vacuum Veil from Jeume, so standard procedure there. I like how that refreshed the defense buff on her. Point Warp, so Oberon getting buff. Noctis going at the enemy this time, headed towards the fight. That could work out in our favor in a big way. Enemy team getting forward. We might not get our physical shield from Jeume this time because she's going to get in range to hit both the enemy units, but she actually had elemental advantage right there. So her plus Oberon is going to be a nice little wombo combo. I think we get a kill here and pop. No, okay. We do. Yeah, we do. We get a kill and pop the courage buff from Zazan. Noctis pops bells. We're in a really good formation right here. Taunting Blade comes out. A little bit of damage to Oberon, who didn't have time to get his shield on. But with the defense buff, he wasn't too worried about that. Zazan has died for the 2nd time. He's out of AP, though, so he's just auto-attacking. Ibarra, Wailing Storm. Jeume takes that no problem. Noctis going to get into the fight. He kills Zazan. Ibarra's a tanky girl. Like, that was an Earth unit unloading on her. It actually took 2 Earth units to hit her to kill her. But man, that team was really effective right there against that squad. Again, we had some elemental advantage working out for us. But, like, I think that's okay. If your tank is Wind Element and you find a mixed team with 2 Earth Element units, okay, good job. Good for you. Should you run her into a mixed element team that's all ice with Valentine's Day Salier? You might not want to do that. That might be a bad idea. But I think you can run. The point of this video was to show that you can effectively run some mixed element type teams with her. And I think I showed some of the cooler ideas I've had for it. So let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if there's some comps you would particularly like to see, and I can try and make them work. We'll see if we can do it. All right, guys, have a great day. Good luck on the raids tomorrow. And, yeah, have fun if you're pulling. Good luck on those, too. Man, this is the smoothest outro ever. I'll see you later. Peace.